and certainly thank you to all of you. This is very important and worthwhile, so it's appreciated. Comptroller Gould, Vice Chair Bowman, Chair Hill, and Chair Hopton. Thank you. First, on Basel III Endgame, we need capital rules that strengthen safety and soundness without limiting access to capital for large and small businesses. Second, this committee's debanking report validates our concerns. Last Congress, Biden regulators pressured many banks, were coerced to comply, and lawful Americans lost access to banking services. Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record the majority staff debanking report entitled Operation Choke Point 2.0, Biden's Debanking of Digital Assets.
Without objection.
So I appreciate Comptroller Gould, Vice Chair Bowman, and Acting Chairs Hill's early action regarding debanking by eliminating reputational risk, which our colleague, Representative Barr's bill, the FIRM Act, has codified. In order to achieve fair access to banking, the private sector has a role to play as well, of course. Third, financial fraud and scams are rampant, and this committee is committed to a government, private sector, and a whole of society effort to protect consumers, seniors, veterans, young people, small businesses, everyone out there. And that's a top priority for my subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations. So, Vice Chair Bowman, I'd like to start with you, please. You've been very clear on Basel III Endgame, very refreshing, as a matter of fact, that it can have real benefits if calibrated properly for bank lending, especially for community and regional banks. In your view, how can right-sizing capital requirements that primarily affect larger banks help support small business and agricultural lending?
If we're speaking specifically about Basel III, it's important to understand that the approach that we're taking limits the application of Basel III and the required participants to the largest banks. So those requirements would not apply to the smallest banks unless they chose to opt in to that framework.
Okay. Let me ask you this then. Do you plan to examine the Tier 1 leverage requirements, the GSIB surcharge, the CCAR requirements as part of your effort to right-size capital?
So we're looking at all the capital framework and the capital pillars in a comprehensive way. We've already worked to address the community bank leverage ratio by setting it at the statutory floor that Congress provided us. I think there are a number of different categories that we're looking at. We'll have a GSIB surcharge proposal. We already introduced the SLR, and the other is the stress testing in addition to Basel III. We're making progress on all of these different capital pillars, and I would definitely tell you that we're not reverse engineering an outcome. Right. We're looking to do risk assessments that would allow for us to set these calibrations according to risk.
Okay, thank you. And to be clear, the Basel III would have greatly destabilized, if you will, our banking community and not helped community banks nor helped larger banks.
In its previous proposals iteration, okay. Yes, I agree.
All right. Comptroller Gould, the debanking report this committee issued yesterday detailed how Biden regulators pressured banks to debank crypto, energy, firearm companies, as well as politically disfavored groups, resurrecting Operation Choke Point that started under Obama. What recommendation do you have for private entities to ensure they have eliminated any internal systems or policies implemented to comply with the Biden-era regulatory pressure?
Well, thank you for the question, Congressman. As I noted before, we're still in the process of reviewing complaints and conducting our review. I would say in general, though, that over-reliance on negative news searches, which is, I think, sometimes a feature of reputation risk, could, again, in an over-reliance situation, be problematic, as well as categorical prohibitions on performing or providing financial services and products to lawful business activities.
Okay, thank you. Chair Hill, the FDIC under previous Chair Grunberg issued pause letters asking banks to cease all activity with crypto companies. What changes have you initiated and have planned for the FDIC to prevent regulatory abuse in the future?
Thank you, Congressman. So first and foremost, we undid the policies of the past few years. So we rescinded the guidance that required prior approval, and we now treat digital asset activities just like any other novel activity where banks are expected to manage the safety and soundness risk, but otherwise have no prohibitions to serving those industries. I think promoting durability of our policies is something that is always a consideration. And so we are considering a number of steps to try to ensure that these types of things won't happen in the future.
Thank you. My time has expired. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.